Colorado bracing for feet of snow.
Conditions are anticipated to be severe and can change quickly.
Winter storm warnings ahead as emergency crews prepare for tough conditions on the road.
We don't like to be busy because if we're busy, that means that more people are getting hurt.
National Guard members now standing by to help with search and rescue.
We'll come out stronger with a renewed faith in ourselves.
Addressing the nation amid growing hope the pandemic will soon be over. President Biden lays out a new timeline when every U.S. adult will be eligible to get the COVID shot.
Hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
And making it through the worst of years. The plan in Arvada to help businesses hang tough and rebound quickly. All right, here we go. Get ready for a wild weather weekend. The entire I-25 corridor and some other parts of the Front Range are now under a winter storm warning. And the storm's already dumped snow on California's mountains. And by the way, this light snow we're looking at right here, this is our Lookout Mountain camera. That's not the storm we're talking about.
The storm we are monitoring is pushing through Nevada, Arizona, and Utah right now. It's on track to slam Colorado with multiple feet of snow this weekend. This could bring the biggest snowfall we've seen in years, and our state is ramping up efforts to keep Coloradans safe.
And our team's in place. We will be working hard to bring you the most up-to-the-minute information tonight and all weekend long as the storm comes through.
Sloan Dickey is checking in with first responders, getting ready now so they can keep us all safe through the weekend.
First to Denver7 Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. So, Mike, the storm has slowed down, so that it will affect when it hits and how much snow it produces here.
That is right. And if you don't like snow, the slowing down of it is not good news. If you're excited about one of the biggest storms we've seen in years, this is great news for you. The low-pressure system's about over Las Vegas. The storm is beginning to slow down in its track. It's about 500 miles away from the Front Range right now. We've painted across the state watches and warnings in the blue. Those are winter storm watches. The pink, winter storm warnings. That includes all of the Denver metro area, Fort Collins, Boulder, Greeley, up to Cheyenne, Wyoming. And those continue until Monday morning. Now, tonight we have rain and snow showers around the area, but this is just the opening act. It shouldn't amount to much. Might slick up the roads in the foothills a little bit, but it won't be a problem for early tomorrow morning to any extent. The main storm arrives Saturday morning. Heavy snow for the weekend. Travel difficult, if not impossible. And we are talking several feet, especially in the foothills.
And Mike, this is a different type of storm than the ones I think we're used to. And CDOT now says it's going to move equipment out of the high country down here to the Front Range.
The reason for that is this is going to be an upslope storm. The low pressure system over southeast Colorado by Sunday morning. When that happens, the counterclockwise motion around that storm pushes those winds up against the mountains. Here's a cross section. The air goes up against the mountains, dumping the heaviest snow along the Front Range, but not nearly as much on the other side of the divide. And oftentimes with these upslope storms, we actually have some sunshine over parts of western Colorado while we're getting just dumped on with snow along and east of the Continental Divide.
Thank you, Mike. We'll check in with you in just a few minutes. And if you were here for the March 2019 blizzard, you'll remember the intense conditions that left drivers stranded on the highway. Some had to be rescued by the National Guard. Starting tomorrow, Governor Polis is activating more than 4 National Guard members with specialized vehicles to respond to emergency calls this weekend. Denver7 Sloan Dickey is live this evening. Sloan, first responders are bracing for a busy weekend full of challenges.
There absolutely will be challenges and there will be some dangers on the roadways, but just because the snow falls, that doesn't mean that emergency crews will stop doing their jobs. In fact, they say they've been preparing all week for the storm. As Coloradans stock up on supplies ahead of the winter storm,
This is where we usually keep extra blankets.
emergency crews are stocking up as well.
So this is all of our trauma stuff. During storms, the roads get icy, and unfortunately, there are a lot more crashes, a lot more people getting hurt physically. So we stock up on splints, wraps, bandages.
Kenton Vu, an EMT with MetroCare Ambulance, says preparation is key.
We had a plan in place for storms or any big incident. So we're just kind of running through it, refreshing it, making sure we're all ready for the storm, so we're not fumbling.
They're stocking up on blankets for patients, pulling out extra crash equipment, and MetroCare Ambulance just got new chains to help them have a safer drive in the snow.
With the storm, we're going to be running extra crews, pulling out most of our ambulances, and just making sure that we have staff on hand.
And they're not alone. Emergency crews across the metro area are preparing as well. South Metro Fire Rescue is fueling up its Snowcat.
We might be 2 to 3 feet under the snow in the coming days.
A vehicle that can get to stranded drivers if needed.
We actually are all hazards all year round, so we really want to we are prepared with our rigs and everything like that for a snowfall to happen.
And even though first responders are trained to do their job in storms like this, they're asking you to do a job of your own. Stay home.
We don't like to be busy, because if we're busy, that means that more people are getting hurt. Our goal is to reduce that. So the more people stay home, the less cars on the road, the happier we are.
Not only can more cars cause more accidents, but it can make a difficult emergency run even more challenging, blocking major roads.
Other than some extra chains and traveling a little slower, we're going to do what we always do, because that's just our job and we love it.
Now, officials say that you should definitely try and stay off the roads, as they mentioned several times there. But if you do find yourself stranded on the roads this weekend, there are emergency shelters across the state. We have a list of those shelters on our website. Shannon?
All right, Sloan, thanks, and thanks in advance to those EMTs for the work they're getting ready to do. And with the storm arriving later than initially forecast, Denver will push back the start time for the smaller plows. They'll be in clearing side streets tomorrow, 3 p.m. The big plow drivers will be on duty starting at midnight. So the city says try, if you can, really to park off the street. That'll give the plows more room.
The storm is coming at a bad time for people who booked an appointment to get a coronavirus shot. Today, UC Health and SCL Health announced they are canceling all Saturday and Sunday clinics because of the storm. Kaiser Permanente made the same call yesterday. For all three, staff will reach out to rebook your shot. Many coronavirus testing sites are also closed this weekend. To be clear, the storm will not affect this week's vaccine supply. Colorado already received its full shipment of doses.
And the storm's also shifting CHSAA basketball playoffs. Games that were scheduled for Saturday will now happen Monday. Now the state championship games are still on for March 19th and 20th.
Closures are more than just an inconvenience for people relying on food pantries right now. Food Bank of the Rockies says it anticipates closures over the weekend. It's urging anyone who needs help to get to one of its pantries tomorrow. We caught up with one woman who turned 80 today, picking up food at Risen Christ Catholic Parish in Denver. She says money is tight and worries she won't be able to get around this weekend to pick up supplies.
With the storm, we don't have transportation. Like my car, my engine light comes on. I'm taking a chance every time I drive it.
And the city of Denver says it will be boosting capacity and offering more shelter options for homeless neighbors this weekend. You can stay ahead of the storm with our 24/7 weather coverage. We have constantly updated forecasts, snow totals, live radar, and more. Search Denver7 on your Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire to start watching for free. And make sure to join us Saturday night for special storm coverage as the flakes fall. Catch it all on Denver7 and Local 3 at 8.
In a primetime address this evening, President Biden set a hopeful tone for ending this pandemic quickly. He directed all states to make vaccines available to every adult by May 1st. He says if we all commit to doing our part, we could start to get a taste of normalcy by summer.
If we do all this, if we do our part, if we do this together, by July the 4th, there's a good chance you, your families and friends will be able to get together in your backyard or in your neighborhood and have a cookout and a barbecue and celebrate Independence Day.
Sounds pretty nice. And Governor Polis said he is optimistic. He hopes to have all Coloradans eligible for that vaccine even sooner than that.
And the pandemic shuttered many businesses. And according to one study, over half of them will never reopen.
One Colorado city says it figured out a way to help businesses survive and get ready to rebound. As Denver7's CB Cotton reports, it's a solution they hope to carry into the future.
Old Town Arvada is known for its one-of-a-kind businesses, so city leaders said it took unique solutions to keep them open. In Arvada's downtown district, You'll see a blend of old meets new.
It's a great place, lots of shopping, lots of dining.
But at the start of the pandemic, Scott Spears wondered how long it would last.
That was pretty awful, is just having to talk to our employees and say, hey, we don't know.
He owns several businesses in Old Town Arvada.
We own Scrumptious, Schoolhouse, Super Zoom Bang Bang, Sock, and So Radish.
In fact, we visited his restaurant Schoolhouse late last year as the county was preparing to enter into level red on the state's COVID-19 dial.
We had to close 100% of all of them for a while, and there were employees that we had to lay off.
But his closures, never permanent, and he credits the Arvada Resiliency Task Force for his rebound.
They were running campaigns left and right. They were trying to drive business to all the businesses.
We understood that there was going to be a drastic effect on our community and particularly the business community. And so we looked to respond to those changes.
Joe Hingsler leads Old Town Arvada's Business Improvement District. He says that response focused on community support both through and after closures.
We tried to do everything from encouraging the community to support their local businesses, but we also wanted to let everybody know that as businesses began to reopen that they were safe.
The city also worked to educate owners on how to navigate PPP loans and safety protocols.
We wanted our business to know about those as well.
And that knowledge led to good results. The city says of its nearly 3,500 businesses, only 223 closed. And get this, new business came to the area.
I think it says a lot about doing business in Arvada.
Over 350 new businesses were licensed. The Arvada rebound, a bright spot compared to 2,500 Colorado establishments estimated to have closed. Spears says he's grateful that his businesses were able to last.
We're trying to do everything we can for our employees and to get through this, and hopefully the end is in sight.
CB Cotton, Denver 7.
Any meeting that we need, I can do virtually.
Screen time all the time.
We have to keep one office for licensing purposes, and if it wasn't for that, I would not even have that.
The pandemic is upending our approach to work, sometimes in unexpected ways.
I do think that COVID made it unavoidable.
1 year into the pandemic, a look at how jobs could be forever changed.
Winter storm warnings are posted. The heavy snow is on the way.